On your mark, get ready, start.
Broadcasting from California and Delaware, this is the Hard Rocking Trivia Show. And here are your hosts, Mark and Danny.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Hard Rocking Trivia Show. Woo! Yeah. We got a bunch of things going on today. First off, they just released the new M3 lineup, which is May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th back at the Meriwether Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland. Not too far from me, so I usually try to go when I'm in town, but I'm going to be in Costa Rica that weekend, so boo. Once again, last year it was my daughter graduating from her undergrad, so I was in Florida that weekend, so yeah, one more year that I can't go, but thought we'd have a little discussion about who is in the lineup, because there's some pretty interesting people.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Kicks is on Friday night, right?
Ha! No, they are not.
Oh.
Go figure. Let me get it. Let me pull it up here. All right, so Friday, May 2nd, the opening band, they usually have like a small show Friday night, not a lot of bands, just 2 or 3. This year, the opening band is Snake Oil, which I've never heard of.
I'm guessing a local band, maybe.
Yeah, probably local band. And then a guy I have seen in the past and I wouldn't mind seeing again because I've heard he's awesome, and you saw him recently, is Sebastian Bach. So that's a cool Friday night.
Yeah, Sebastian is still great live, still can sing, still brings it. I highly recommend Sebastian Bach. Yep. So we're off to a good start.
Yeah, off to a good start. You know, if it's not Kicks, then Sebastian Bach's not bad. Not bad replacement, that's for sure. May 3rd, we'll go in reverse order or order that they are performing. So something called Soundcheck Rock. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's just the PA system being on and playing. Who knows?
Or something with kids playing like a rock and roll camp type thing. I don't know.
They're playing their opening Sunday show also. So, or whatever that is listed first on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So the next thing on Saturday is Red Voodoo. I don't know anything about them.
I think they're a newer band, kind of like a Dirty Honey type band, young guys that play classic 70s and 80s sounding music. I have heard of them, and I don't think they've put out anything, but yes, I've heard of them.
All right. Yeah, I'm into the Dirty Honey kind of thing. They're good. You know, kind of like Rival Sons kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quality stuff.
Yeah. Next is Child's Play, which I saw at the last M3 I went to, which was good. You know, I don't know anything about them. I think they had a couple of different lead singers, and some of them came back. I think they're kind of a local band to the Baltimore area.
Yeah, they are. They had a major label deal. I think they released 1, maybe 2 albums. I honestly never got into them, so I couldn't tell you if they're good or bad, so I don't know.
Yeah. The next one is the original drummer from Guns N' Roses, Steven Adler. So I'm guessing he's just going to have a bunch of Guns N' Roses songs.
Yeah, he's going to perform songs with a Guns N' Roses tribute band that plays everything he played on. So yeah, you'll know the tunes, and Steven's a likable guy, but it's pretty much a tribute band.
Yeah, it is what it is. Next is another band I saw at the last M3, which is Slaughter. They were great. Mark Slaughter can scream his ass off. It's unbelievable. He can still do it.
Can he sing, or is he screaming?
It's mostly screaming.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was a lot of screaming, and by the end I was like, "Oof, that's got to hurt his voice," but he's still doing it.
Okay, so you still say they're good. So okay, we'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Next up is Winger, which I saw at the last M3 also, and Kip was not doing well. He said he was sick, and maybe they should have bowed out or something, but well, I don't know. They weren't great last night. Musically they were awesome, but his singing had some work to do.
So maybe they felt bad about their performance there, because normally bands don't come back the next year. So maybe it's like one of those things like, hey, you know what, we weren't at our best. Give us another shot at it, and we'll do better.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening.
Well, I was there 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that's when Styx was the big headliner, and most people left, which I cannot understand in the least. But I guess Styx is a little more mellow, or people think they're more mellow, which was not the case at all. They were awesome, but whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Winger's good. Thumbs up for me. So
Oh, yeah, totally. Then a band I would definitely like to see again, because I haven't seen them since you and I saw them in, I guess it was the Country Club.
Yep, we saw them in the Country Club.
Accept. Ooh. So their singer is unbelievable. He's no Udo, but that's all right. He's awesome.
I saw them at the Whiskey a few months back, and they crush it. They are so good. And I think they played M3 once before, and they went down really well, because they are a little heavier and a little different from every other band on the bill. But they're melodic as well, but they're melodic and really heavy. So they sound great. They'll go down like a storm. So.
Oh yeah. And then the headliner for Saturday night, which I am shocked about, is David Lee Roth.
Ooh.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he cannot sing. I saw him on his last Van Halen tour, and it was not good. Not good at all.
I just listened to that Live in Tokyo DVD. Ooh, it's terrible.
It's
so
bad. They should not have put that out.
No, I don't know why they did. Maybe they had a record company thing and they had to put something out, and that's what they did. But it's awful. Yeah. And Dave's been putting out these videos on YouTube, and they're goofy as hell. Most of the time, he's just dancing around.
Back in the day, he was amazing, but I don't find him entertaining at all anymore. He's just, he does some spin and then looks at the audience like, hey, did you see that? Huh? Oh, just stop.
He's like a male version of, what was it, Carol Channing. From the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. He looks like a male version of her.
Yeah, and it's like all campy and no.
Yeah, what are you going to get when you see him? I hope you're going to just get him with a rockin' band behind him playing his hits and the Van Halen hits. That would be the way to go. I'm going to guess that's what you're going to get, but you never know. We've seen Dave come out on the Tonight Show and do a country version of Jump, so you just never know. So it's interesting. I'd be interested to see it. I think I'm just going to not go to M3, fly across the country and see it. I'll just see what everybody films and puts it up on YouTube. I'm hoping he's great, but
yeah, I hope he is too. Van Halen was one of my top 5 bands back in the day.
Right.
But
expectations are really low for that one.
Yeah.
But we hope it's great.
All right, so that's Saturday. Sunday, May 4th, you have that Soundcheck Rock again, and then Spread Eagle, which I've heard a little bit of. They're pretty heavy.
I like Spread Eagle. I have a couple of their albums. There's one that's great. And they're playing the Whiskey, I think, pretty soon. I might just have to go and see them because I really like one of their albums. So, yeah, they're a New York band, pretty heavy, sleazy, heavy New York 80s/early 90s band. They're really good.
Nice. So that's a good lead off to Sunday. Then Vixen, which we've seen before at M3. They do not suck.
They don't suck, and they have a new lead singer too.
Nice.
And she is one of the females who performs with the same thing that Jeff Scott Soto does, the Christmas thing.
Oh, Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
She's part of that. She's a Canadian singer. I think she's like 50. She doesn't look 50, and she's a great singer. So maybe they're better than they ever were, but they were always pretty good to begin with. So.
Oh, yeah. I like them a lot. They were great when we saw them.
Yeah, they're better live than they are on their albums. Their albums are okay, but they're better live.
Oh, yeah, they're much harder. Another artist I've seen at M3 in the past is Lita Ford. She's next, and she's okay. I mean, she has like 5 or 6 songs that she does every time, and then, that's it.
Yeah. I hate Kiss Me Deadly, though. Oof.
Oh, I hate that song too. I hate that. I hate the mellow one she did with Ozzy.
Close Your Eyes Forever.
Close Your Eyes.
Yeah, Close Your Eyes Forever. Yeah, I don't really like those. Those are biggest hits, and I don't like either one of them.
Nah.
Though I do like some of her more rockin' tunes that weren't hits. So, I mean, we saw her. We were entertained. She was good.
Yeah.
Her band is good.
Absolutely.
But, it's not somebody I'd run out to see. But,
After Lita Ford is a band, after Lita Ford is when I'll go get dinner, because that's when Great White comes on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Jack Russell was Great White, so what are they doing?
They've had since Jack Russell left the band and they split into two. Now, obviously, Jack has passed away now. They've had like 5 or 6 lead vocalists, and I guess they got some young guy now in his 20s who can really sing the stuff. I imagine they do a good job of it, but I like Great White when they were a heavy metal band. When they went to blues based, I was like, kind of lost me there. But they're not bad. It's just like, they're not exciting either.
Yeah, but that's when I'll take a break.
Yeah.
Next up, I've seen a band I've seen a couple of times, Warrant, who are always great.
Yeah. No problems with them. I don't know. I guess 3/5 of them are there. Maybe they're going to have 4/5. I don't know. But they're still solid live. The songs translate well, and they're very entertaining. Robert Mason's a great singer. So, yeah. You know what you're getting with them, so they're not going to suck.
Nope. Next is a guy I've seen a couple times, but I guess I only saw him with his band, is Ace Frehley, which will not suck for sure.
You hope.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it depends on what Ace comes out, but
yeah, sometimes Ace is great. His backing band is a bunch of Nashville dudes, and they're great. But you see some video, and Ace is like, okay, he's sounding really. I mean, we know Ace is not a great singer.
Yeah,
but you hope he picks the right tunes, and he's on his game. When he's on his game, he is pretty damn good. But sometimes when he's a little off, like the person who's coming after him, sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're not. But lately, Ace has been like hit or miss, so you hope he's great. I mean, he's a legend, and I'm a big fan, so
yeah,
I'd be excited to see him.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see him. Just, depends on which Ace comes out. And then the headliner for Sunday is Piercy and DeMartini, who are, everybody knows, 2 of the guys in Rat. And they're performing Rat songs. So,
and this is a big deal because DeMartini hasn't been doing anything for years.
Yeah, he hasn't been a part of any incarnation of Rat. So very interesting.
Interesting, and I follow Jason Green, and he's the tour manager for Stephen Piercy, and the Stephen Piercy band is really good. But from what I've heard, he's not using the Stephen Piercy band. He's going to use Warren and 3 other guys, and apparently they're all named guys. So I have a feeling these are going to be different guys than the Stephen Piercy band. So who knows?
Really?
It hasn't been. They haven't said who it is yet, and everybody's thinking, could it be Carlos Cavazo on second guitar? Who's going to play bass and drums? I don't know. It's not going to be Blotzo or any old Rat guys. So who knows who it can be? I'm going to guess it's some guys who live all in Vegas are going to practice there. So all Vegas-based guys practice and then go out to the show. So
yeah.
But the fact that Warren's playing again is kind of cool because he hasn't played in years.
Is he playing now, or is this going to be one of his first shows?
This is going to be his first show, we think, because right now the Stephen Piercy band is Johnny Monaco from Enough's Enough, and those guys, Matt Thorne, who was the and the guy from Slaughter on drums, Blas Elias. Those guys is the Stephen Piercy band, but apparently this is going to be a different group of guys. So,
well, we'll see.
I'd be excited, and Stephen Piercy's actually been sounding pretty good. I guess he's cleaned up his life. Not on the drugs or the drink. And from my see, he sounds like he used to. He was never a great singer, but at least he sounds decent now. And if you got great guys behind you, it's going to sound good. Just kind of like Roth. If you got great guys behind you, it's going to bring your game up. So you hope it's going to happen. You hope they're going to be great. So if I was in the area, I would go just to see, and hoping I would want to spend $300 on a train wreck, man. But there's enough good bands on that where I would be satisfied.
When the headliners are iffy, I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, because they're the longest sets.
Yeah, because if it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad for a while.
Right, but our expectations would be low, so if they're low and they're better than that, then you leave satisfied, I guess. So.
Well, do you want to go to a show and go, well, he wasn't that bad?
No, I want to say, oh, he was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So we're not going this year. So
no, I probably would. If I had to pick one day, I would probably go Sunday, mainly for Ace. Because I think the last time I saw him was with Kiss in '77.
Really? That's the last time I've seen him live?
Yeah.
Wow. I've seen him solo a couple of times, and I've seen him in Kiss when they came back in '96. So I've seen him at least 4 times.
All right.
And most of the time, every time I've seen him, he's been great. So.
Well,
okay.
We'll see what happens.
Well, it's going to be interesting. That's May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Maryland. Weather Post.
I'd be curious. I have a feeling it's going to be packed for that one. I mean, just David Lee Roth, just the name alone, old Van Halen people would want to see him just because he hasn't done anything in a while. So
yeah, I'd rather see Sammy and Michael and that, the Best of All Worlds tour. I'd rather see that at M3.
Oh, that was
huge,
so good. But I don't think Sammy's going to take it on tour. He's going to do it in Vegas for residency for sure.
Yeah,
which that might be another reason to fly out to Vegas with the wife and.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
That's only 4 hours from me, so.
Yeah,
I'd be into doing things like that in the future. Just putting it out. Just put it out
all
there.
Right. Just making it known.
All right. So from that on, we wanted to. I came up with something off the top of my head because everybody's talking about John Sykes from Thin Lizzy and Whitesnake and Tigers and how he passed away, and all these guitar players are talking about how influential he was and how great he was, and got me thinking like, because I got to see John Sykes, so I came up with Danny and I are going to do our top 5 guitarists that we've seen in person that made an impact on us. So we're going to give you a list of the people that we've seen. I don't know what Danny's list is, and he doesn't know what mine is, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple of people that are the same.
Oh, yeah. So obviously.
So let's start off with the honorable mentions, Danny. Who are your honorable mentions for the guitarists that you've seen live?
See, this is hard for me because I love seeing good guitar players, but I narrowed it down to 5 that are a pretty solid group, but then I had 3 that were honorable mentions that I could not go without mentioning. One I saw the most recently is Richie Kotzen.
Okay.
The guy was unbelievable. Just and he doesn't play with a pick. He plays fingerstyle, but good Lord, the guy can jam.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Doesn't Jeff Beck play like that too, or didn't he?
Yeah.
I know Lindsey Buckingham does. To me, it seems like it'd be harder, but I don't know.
Well, it depends. All depends on what you're used to. If you're, it seems to me it would be easier if you're like a shredder to play with a pick because you just get your wrist going and you can really go fast. But if you can do that with your fingers, like I saw a guy on Instagram, Rick Beato was interviewing him, and he can do that with his fingers. Just like play that fast, finger picking, and
wow.
Yeah, he's got all 4 fingers going brrrr, where most guys would need a pick to do it. But
the callus on his fingers must be unbelievable.
Yeah. So Richie Kotzen's one of my honorable mentions. Another one is Joe Bonamassa.
Okay.
That I saw. I actually met the guy before the show. He was out signing autographs, and I was working that night. He was at the Grand Opera House in Wilmington, and he was just standing in front of this like backdrop of like his latest album. And at the time I was walking by, it was between people that were coming in to say hi to him, and he just said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hey," and shook his hand.
Seems like a
Really
regular
looking forward to the
dude,
show.
huh?
Yeah, he's a great guy. Just, just an unbelievable blues guitar player.
Yeah, I've never seen him.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay.
And then another guy, I don't know if you know who this guy is. His name is Leo Kottke.
He's a jazz guy, right?
More of a folk kind of acoustic guitarist.
Okay. I don't know anything about him.
Unbelievable. The guy is so freaking good. And I saw him open for Jake Shimabukuro, who is a ukulele player.
Wow, I've never heard of him either.
I mean, if you can check out a video of Jake Shimabukuro playing, he does a version of Bohemian Rhapsody on a ukulele. It's unbelievable.
Wow, that sounds pretty
Check
cool.
it out.
All right.
It's and he did it live when I saw him, and it's just. But anyway, I couldn't believe Leo Kottke was opening for this guy because Leo's like a legend on the 6 and 12 string acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I gotta watch.
Anyway,
okay.
those are my 3 honorable mentions.
I gotta see those guys, and that other guy can't even pronounce his damn name. Or what's the ukulele player? How do you say his name?
Ukulele, Jake Shimabukuro.
Shimabukuro. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's Hawaiian. He's
Okay.
a ukulele. The guy is unbelievable. But also check out the Leo Kottke if you ever.
I
Leo
will.
Kottke. He's it's folk and it's acoustic. It's not hard rock at all. But the guy, if we're talking greatest guitar players that I've seen live, he's on the list. If we were saying top 10, he would be up there.
Okay. Out of your honorable mentions, the only guy I've seen live, I saw Kotzen with Poison. I saw Kotzen with Mr. Big. And those are the only time I've seen him. I've never seen him. And I saw him in Winery Dogs, but I never saw him solo. But yeah, he was always impressive every time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my honorable mentions. I don't know if you've seen. I know you've seen. Maybe I got 5. First one was Yngwie Malmsteen.
Okay.
I saw him in Alcatraz's first show at the Country Club. Unbelievable speed.
Damn, we saw him, didn't we?
I don't know if we saw him together, but I saw the first Alcatraz show ever. And he actually tried.
No, we saw. I think we saw a band called L'Amour
With Jeff Scott Soto, yes.
Yeah, and it was like that was my connection, and that was. Oh shoot, I can't remember the guy's name on guitar.
But he had braces at the time. He was very young.
Oh yeah.
But I forgot who it was. Was it a name guy later? Did he become?
No, he's not. He's not much of a name. He still plays with Jeff Scott Soto in some of his bands. But
okay.
Gary Shutt.
Okay, heard the name.
Shoot, however you pronounce that.
Shoot,
anyway, okay.
All right, so Yngwie, impressed. But problem with Yngwie is the music. I mean, it's samey after a while. It's like it can get a little boring.
Yeah,
but it's impressive as hell to see. Next guy, Randy Rhoads. I saw him once, Ozzy, and
damn, okay.
Him, Ozzy, and Sarzo, and the drummer with the hair. What's his name? Oh my God, this is what happens when you get 60. Tommy Aldridge. That lineup with Def Leppard opening. Yeah, he was. At the time, nobody knew who the hell he was, but he was impressive. And I did like what I saw, but not enough to be in my top 5.
All right.
Next one is Paul Gilbert. Some people don't think he's flashy, and he makes it look easy. He's like a Bruce Kulick guy. He doesn't look like he's working too hard, but he's really good. So Paul Gilbert, and I think you've seen Paul. Yeah, you've seen Paul. Steve Lukather. I've seen Toto 3 times. Impressive as hell. Can play anything. And recently I saw Joe Satriani for the first time play with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, okay.
Pretty impressive. So yeah, he's in my honorable. Those are my 5 honorable mentions. Now I'd like to also go ahead.
I could actually add Joe Satriani because I saw him play with Chickenfoot in Atlantic City, and he was unbelievable. I barely saw him, though, because we were kind of off to the side, and he stayed near the back, near his amps. And so he came out a couple of times, but it's like the bass player from Judas Priest. I know he was there, but I didn't see him much. But, yeah, I could add him to one of my honorable mentions for sure.
And to tie in to the top 5 guitarists that Danny and I both seen in person, well, I also pulled up Rolling Stone's 250 guitarists of all time. They did a list in 2023. And the people Danny mentioned, none of those people are on the top 250. On my honorable mentions, Yngwie's not on the list. Paul Gilbert's not on the list. But Randy Rhoads is 21, Lukather is 186, and Joe Satriani is 127.
Yeah, that's it. I remember when that came out, looking at that, going, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh yeah,
they put Kurt Cobain on there. Are you kidding me?
Oh, they got some people. They're an absolute joke.
I'm as good as Kurt Cobain.
I mean,
and that's not saying anything. That's a joke.
And there are some worthy players on here, but then there's some people like, you got to be, who? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, getting back to it. So we're going to do our top 5 guitar players that we've seen in person. So starting off, right. Danny will give us his number 5.
All right. My number 5, who I saw not too long ago on their most recent tour, is Paul Gilbert with Mr. Big.
Ooh.
Yeah. Guy's freaking amazing. And he does make it look so easy. That's probably why you think, well, he's not really playing that. But just the intro to Green Tinted 60s Mind blows me away. Yeah. And it's so clean when he plays it. It's just unbelievable.
Is it clean when you try it?
No. No, it does. It sounds like a pile of crap when I try it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember this because I've seen Paul Gilbert, obviously, in Mr. Big. I've also seen him in Racer X, and I saw his solo band played when he had... They all wore red jumpsuits like they were astronauts. I saw them play a 3-piece opening for Europe. It was great. It was great. So yeah.
I did see him also as part of G3.
Okay.
And I remember because he played that Spaceship One song.
Yeah, that was the tour I saw him on.
Man, so freaking cool.
Yeah, and a great guy. Super nice.
Yeah.
Super mellow. No ego at all. All right, I agree with that. Paul Gilbert's awesome. My number 5 is also kind of a shredder guy, Steve Vai. I saw Steve Vai in David Lee Roth Band, and I saw Steve Vai in Whitesnake. The guy's fantastic. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. He can play anything.
Right, and you saw him in G3 as well. I mean, he was probably in G3 when you saw him, right?
Nope. He was not.
Oh, he wasn't? Have you seen him?
No. Satriani, Paul Gilbert, and the guy in
Zach Wild?
No, it wasn't Zach Wild. It was Mike. It was the guy in Dream Theater.
Oh, I know you. I forgot his name already.
I have Mike Portnoy on the brain, but that's the drummer. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. All quality dudes. And Steve Vai did make the list at 127.
Oh, good.
127, yeah, but Johnny Ramone is way ahead of him.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's just a popularity contest.
It's critics. They got a dude from the B-52s at 247. Come on.
It's a joke.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway. All right.
So my number 4 was on your list also, and I can't believe he's not higher on my list, but as Steve Lukather. I've probably seen Toto 6 or 8 times, and he blows me away every time. Just freaking unbelievable. And they're on tour now. They're coming to Atlantic City, which isn't too far. They're with Christopher Cross and Men at Work, which
I might go.
Should be a good show.
Sylvie wants to go. I might go to that. They're playing the Forum of all places.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A huge venue. Hope they sell it out. But yeah, because they've always been a club band every time I've seen them. I've never seen them in a huge event. I saw them at Merriweather Post on the Toto 4 tour with Frankie and the Knockouts, and that's probably the biggest venue I've seen them in. Everything else has been small venues.
Yeah. I've seen them ranging from on the back of a semi-trailer in the middle of a corn or field to the opening for Journey in a giant stadium.
And the guys, I just finished his book. I listened to his book. It was unbelievable. The guys work with everybody. I was going to give you a rapid fire question about. I was going to give you 4 female vocalists who I'll give you 4 female vocalists. Name the one he didn't work with. So check this out. I'll give it to you now. All right, Barbra Streisand, Cher, Celine Dion, and Olivia Newton-John. Which one has he not worked with?
I'll say Celine Dion.
Correct.
Yeah.
So all those other ones, he's worked with everybody.
At the back of his book, he has a discography of everybody he's played with. It goes on for like 30 pages. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what? He can shred, but lots of times he just plays to the song. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, and after what was supposed to be the last Toto show in Philly, where he had David Page come out, and they played Africa and all that, and it was supposed to be the last Toto show. So Dana got me tickets for it. We had great seats. He said afterwards that he apologized for overplaying, but he just couldn't help it. I was like, shit, you can overplay all night for all I care. That was awesome.
Right, and you know what? They're just on with the whole yacht rock thing. They're just, they're bigger than they ever were. So you got to keep going, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't even know who's in the band anymore. I'm sure they're all great. So I know.
Well, he's the only one. He and Joe Williams. Joe Williams is an original, but he's
right.
One of the only remaining guys left.
I don't know who's on drums. I don't know who was playing the keyboards. I don't know. I'm sure David Pace will come out at the LA show, but
probably. Yeah, I think Greg Phalanges is playing, or Phalanges, or whatever.
I know who he is. Yeah, he's really great.
Keyboards, and I think some guy named Shannon is playing drums, and the same guy is doing like sax and horns and stuff.
Okay,
but I don't know anybody else.
All right, so you know they're not going to stink. Okay, all right. My number 4 has not been mentioned yet, but I'm sure he might make your list.
All right,
Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme. He is unbelievable. We've been fans since album 1. We've both seen him multiple times, and then we saw him on the last tour. He was great then. He was great in the first album all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
He is the guy now. I think since Edward passed away, people are looking for a guitar hero, and they're kind of looking at Nuno a little bit.
Well, after that last album and some of the solos on that album, it's no wonder people are looking at him as the next guy.
Right. He's amazing. You can't say anything bad about him. And he did make the list. Rolling Stone got it right. He's 197. Let's see who's better.
197.
Let's see who's better than him. Oh, right in front of him is James Taylor.
Oh,
James Taylor. Okay, and the guy in front of him, Greg Ginn from Black Flag.
Oh my God. See, you can imagine when I'm going through that list what I'm thinking. These guys that, are you kidding me?
Yeah, unbelievable.
The guy from Black Flag?
Yeah. When I think of great guitar playing, I think of Black Flag. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right, so that was your number 4, huh?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the other 3 then. Jeez. Okay, so my number 3 that I've seen multiple times is Eddie Van Halen.
He's at 3? Wow. 3. Okay.
Well, you haven't heard my 1 and 2 yet.
Okay, well, that's surprising, but okay.
But yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? I've seen him in all incarnations. I saw him with David Lee Roth back in the day. I saw him with Sammy Hagar. Saw him with Gary Sharon. Saw him back with David Lee Roth, and should have stopped before that, but it is what it is.
Right. I've seen him. I saw him mostly with Roth. Never got to see him with Sammy, and he was great with Sharon. Yeah, he's influenced everybody. He actually made the list. Shocking, huh? He's number 4.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's respectable. So Rolling Stone got that right. He should be in the top 5.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page are up there.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, in my top 3, 2 of my top 3 didn't make the list.
Oh, Jesus. See, the Rolling Stone list is a joke.
Yeah, they stink. All right, my number 3. I saw him. I saw him with Thin Lizzy when he fronted Thin Lizzy in the 90s. That is John Sykes.
Oh, man.
He was unbelievable. I saw him at the Key Club in Hollywood, which was Gazzari's before that and became the Key Club. I was 3 feet in front of the dude.
Jeez.
The tone was unbelievable. People were losing their minds. The place was oversold. And what I've heard about John Sykes when all these people are giving their eulogies, that John didn't believe that anybody thought he was any good, or, Who? John Sykes.
I'd like to talk to these people that thought he wasn't any good.
No. John Sykes didn't think that people thought he was any good. He didn't have an ego. He didn't realize how much people loved him. He didn't understand that, which is hard to believe.
I don't know what David Coverdale did to the guy, but
yeah,
it was. Jeez.
I think that just killed his ego. And then when Blue Murder didn't blow up like it was supposed to, I think he just didn't. It's like, oh, what do I have to do?
Man, Blue Murder their first album is such a cult following. That's a classic.
Oh yeah. And the guy was fantastic. But the funny thing is, the last time I saw John Sykes was at Costco in Northridge. I went, that's John Sykes. Oh my God.
Did he have the hair?
He had a hat on, but you could see the hair too. I mean, he wasn't dressed like he was a rock star. He was dressed down to kind of. But John, oh my God, I worship this guy.
Crap.
He was great. Wow. And when you hear Zakk Wylde play, you can tell he's influenced by John Sykes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what is it called? Wow. Squelch, that noise he makes. I forgot. When he plays, he'll play.
It's a pinch harmonic.
Pinch harmonic. So yeah, Sykes did that first. Yeah. And then when you hear Zakk play, Zakk does it. Like, okay, well, yeah, he obviously
Zakk overdoes it, but
he does.
Whatever.
Yeah, but still pretty cool to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny because it's not hard to do at all.
No,
but it's like a trick that once you learn it, it's like, oh, okay, well that's it. It's easy to do, but sounds cool.
Yeah, agreed. All right.
All right. Well, I never got to see him, so that's a bummer.
Yeah. So what's your number 2?
My number 2, I saw. Oh man, it had to have been early '90s or late '80s. No, it was late '80s, I guess. And that's Gary Moore.
Gary Moore. You saw Gary Moore in 1983, first time.
It would have been, because he was opening for Crocus and Def Leppard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Danny and I were sitting together for that.
Yeah, it was Corridors of Power. Unbelievable. Just, the rest of the guitar players on that bill should have just said, okay, well, good night. Y'all have seen it. So.
And what was cool was Def Leppard were fans of Gary Moore, so they brought him on the tour. So he got all the sound and all the lights as all the other bands did. And Danny and I just sat there and went, because we didn't know anything about. We knew who he was, and he was with Thin Lizzy. We didn't know any of the songs, nothing. We just looked at each other like, oh my God, this guy's unbelievable.
Holy crap!
We became
what
fans.
Have we been missing?
Yeah, we were fans on that day. It's like, Yeah, hooked for life.
I think that day, we went and got his catalog, or in the next couple of days, we decided, okay, we're getting everything he did with Thin Lizzy. We're getting all of his solo stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and guess what?
Even,
Gary Moore's
even
not
all
on the
that
list.
blues stuff, all the blues stuff he did was unbelievable.
Yeah, I got to see that tour. I saw him when he did the Still Got the Blues tour. It was great.
Yeah.
But, I got tired of the blues stuff pretty quick. I'm just not a big blues guy. I like the rock stuff, the 80s rock stuff, but yeah, still.
Yeah.
All right, so Gary Moore's in front of Edward Van Halen, okay? I could see that. Gary Moore's pretty great.
I mean, all 5 of these guys, I mean, they could be in any order pretty much, but this is the order
Gary's your 2.
Number 2.
My number 2 is Edward Van Halen.
Okay.
For the same reasons you said. I mean, I got to see him first on the Van Halen 2 tour in Germany, and I remember him making all those noises before the band came on. You know, the elephant noise.
Yeah.
And all the Germans, the American people just going bonkers and just couldn't wait to hear it. And they hit the stage. They just blew us away. The place was packed. Probably about 2,000 people. I mean, we were just knocked out. And I think I was 14 or 15. That was it. I was hooked right there.
Yep.
First
Van Halen fan.
First concert ever. I've loved hard rock and heavy metal ever since. And it all goes back to that day as a kid.
Nice.
Oh, so good. I mean, even in the last time I saw him, he was great. So, yeah, that's my number 2. So both of us mentioned him. And, of course, he's number 4 on the list.
Yeah. So, and then my number 1, we've already talked about, is Nuno.
Nuno Bettencourt, number 1.
Yep. The guy just, he's so damn good. He can play anything. He's so melodic. I mean, he's not up with the melodic level of Steve Lukather, but he can play that, and he can shred, and his chops are unreal.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
And he's, after all these years, he's still great.
Yeah.
If you haven't got Extreme 6, go get it. It's an amazing album. Different styles of music. The guitar playing is out of this world. You have to see this guy. I mean, even when he does his little jams, he's still great. He can play anything. There's nothing you can say bad about him.
Yeah, there's one part. Most of the times I've seen him, and I've seen Extreme probably 6 or 8 times too, and he's just ripping off this killer solo, and he does it all the time. But he'll be up at the front of the stage ripping the solo, and then kind of yawning and pretending like he's bored, and kind of.
Yeah, he does it through Play With Me, like he's bored, and we just look at his fingers flying, like, really?
Yeah.
We don't believe you.
Whatever. Me? Yeah, I'm just playing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unreal.
Amazing. Okay, so what do you think my number 1 is?
Gary Moore.
Gary Moore is my number 1.
There you go.
I mean, I was a fan when we were sitting in the Cap Center before Crocus and Def Leppard on the Pyromania tour. Gary Moore just blew our minds. And I saw him again in Washington, D.C. Were you there with me? It was on the Wild Frontier tour. I know Griff Harrison was there with me. Were you there also?
I don't think so.
So, yeah, maybe.
I was in college when that album came out.
So, I took Griff to see Gary Moore. And it was with the Wild Frontier band. Bob Daisley on bass, Eric Singer on drums, and Neil Carter on second guitar and keyboards. That band blew my mind. I saw them there.
Lord.
It wasn't the 930 Club, but it was the other club in D.C. I forget the name of it.
Not the 930.
It was the famous. It was a little bigger than the 930 Club. But
yeah, I saw Butch Walker in that club. I know which exact one you're talking about.
I can't remember it. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's still there. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was a few years ago.
Yeah, but and then I saw that same tour when he played all the places, the Roxy, in front of 300 people.
Jeez.
And everybody was in there with somebody. Because Tracy Gunn says he was there. I saw Black and Blue in there. Everybody around me was in a band to see Gary Moore in a place that held 300 people. And there's a little chunky Gary Moore right in front of you, sweating his balls off. I mean, wasn't a handsome man, but the guy,
No.
I was literally 3 feet from him, watching him sweat all over us, and the band was on fire. He was on fire. I think he was so happy because people were losing their minds. It was so great. And the final time I saw him in the biggest one of the bigger venues is headlining. Still Got the Blues when he played blues at this place, and half the people there probably didn't even know he had a rock career. Because I talked to people, Gary Moore, he got his albums. No, I just heard this guy was good, so I like this Still Got the Blues song. Yeah, they had no idea he had a history. But they had these things at Universal Amphitheater where if you can buy 5 concerts and for a discounted price, and probably these people probably bought all these other ones they went to, and Gary Moore, he could be good. I'm going to go.
He's a good guitar player, huh?
So, yeah, the people initially were like, okay, this guy's good. But as it went on and on and on and on, they really got into it because, wow, they were blown away. He was great. But I didn't love his blues stuff.
Yeah, that stuff gets kind of old. I mean, after a while, you're like the Yngwie stuff. Okay. Yeah, you're really fast.
Yeah.
You're still really fast.
And what stinks with John Sykes and Gary Moore is Gary Moore was in the process of doing another rock album. He's going to go back to rock.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that was the thing. And then he dies in that. He drank himself to death, I think, in a hotel room in Spain. Yeah, he was about to do another rock album. And Sykes has already recorded a rock album. He just never put it out. I don't know. It was supposed to come out in Golden Robot years ago. So there's an album in the can. We just never heard it. So maybe
somebody's got to release that.
I know he's got kids. Maybe his family will put it out. That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah. I wish.
Yeah, I'll be the first one to get it. So, yeah, so that's our top 5 guitarists that we've seen in person. And, hopefully you guys, people, have seen some of these people. And if there's some guys out there you haven't seen yet, go see them. Because they're not going to be around forever.
Yeah. Yeah, who knew John Sykes was even sick?
Yeah, 3 of my 5 guitar players are dead now. My top 3 are dead. Unbelievable. And I never got to see Jeff Beck, and I heard he was amazing.
Yeah, I would like to have seen Jeff Beck.
Yeah, not a fan of his music per se, but what I've seen from videos with a young female bass player, it was impressive.
Oh, yeah. The guy's fantastic.
Yeah, and of course,
when you get all these really famous musicians like Alice Cooper and stuff talking about the best guitar player they know, they all say Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's unfounded.
So, and also Gary Moore is not on the top 250 guitar players list, but the guitar player in the Cramps is on there.
Oh, okay. Well, the Cramps, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, when I think great guitar playing, I think of the Cramps.
See that this, that holds about as much worth as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, here's another one. Johnny Thunders is on there.
Johnny Thunders.
Johnny Thunders from the New York Dolls. When I think of great guitar players, I think of the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
No, when I think of Johnny Thunders, I think of heroin.
Exactly.
I don't think of great guitar playing. Unbelievable.
It's like they came up with this list off of just, okay, well, let's go look at your album collection, see what albums you have. Oh, you have a New York Dolls. Oh, yeah, let's put him on there.
Oh, here's another one at 119. Donita Sparks from L7. Peter Buck from REM.
Who are the top 10 on that list?
Okay. I mean, the top 10 is, let's see, just some of these names. There's some names that are on there that are way too high. Or the top 10. All right. 10 is Dwayne Allman from the Allman Brothers. Okay.
Get that.
Okay, number 9 is Joni Mitchell. And I think of great guitar players, I think of Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell, beautiful voice, nice songwriter. I don't think a great guitarist. Mind-blowing. No. Okay. Number 8, B.B. King. Okay, legend.
I give him that.
All right. Number 7, Nile Rodgers from Chic. Great guitar player, but I don't think unbelievable.
I wouldn't say top 10, but
yeah,
okay.
respectable.
He's famous.
Is he better than Gary Moore? No. All right, number 6, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I'm going to guess that's an old blues player from the 30s or 40s.
Isn't that, wasn't some nun?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do you...
And number 6. But not Gary Moore.
The 6 guitar player in the history of the world is some lady we've never heard of.
Yeah. Not Gary Moore, who they brought out to play with David Gilmour on national TV doing My Guitar Gently Weeps, and he did the solo. Prince did it too, but Gary Moore also did it. They didn't call any of these other people. 5 is Jeff Beck. Okay, get it. 4 is Eddie Van Halen. 3 is Jimmy Page.
Okay,
Jimmy Page, influential for sure. A little sloppy for my taste, but still great guitar player. Number 2, Chuck Berry, for obvious reasons.
Well, he was an original. He's a good guitar player?
It's just because he influenced everybody after him. So you got to give him respect.
But he had the one shtick, the banana na 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 na. Listen to it. Like, you could do an album, and 8 out of the 10 songs start with that little riff.
Yeah, they're all similar but
that's all he got. That's all. That's his. And did you hear the story in the Steve Lukather book about that?
Yes.
He sent Steve Lukather home because I don't play with other guitar players.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you don't want to get shown up is what you're doing.
Yeah. He has some issues.
And number 1, Jimi Hendrix?
Correct.
Yeah.
You can't fault that. So, yeah. Oh, don't. And number 17, Mother Mabel Carter from the Carter family. Who? Yeah.
Yeah, that list is a joke.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
I looked through it. I looked at every one of them, and just a joke.
Yeah. Neil Young is 30. Is Neil Young a good guitar player?
No,
sloppy as hell. He's a better songwriter than his guitar player. But, here's one I thought of. I don't know if he's on here, but Glenn Campbell. Glenn Campbell was a great guitar player.
Oh, he should be up there along with Roy Clark.
Roy Clark is an amazing guitar player. I'm not going to go through here, but Roy Clark has to be on that list. But I watched there's a video on YouTube of Glenn Campbell playing "Gentle on My Mind" with a bunch. Roy Clark is there too. Willie Nelson is there. It's all a bunch of country artists sitting there, and he plays the solo, and he's on an acoustic. And you're going, "Oh my God! Look at the speed on this. This is Glenn Campbell."
When you have Roy Clark and Willie Nelson watching you play a solo, you're good.
Yeah. I think Jerry Reed.
Otherwise, they'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I think Jerry Reed was there too. I mean, all top-notch country dudes. We all know Roy Clark was worldly. He's a legend. And finally people are starting to notice Glenn Campbell. I mean, the musicians already knew about him, but everybody else. All right, we've gone on a tangent.
Oh, he was part of the Wrecking Crew before he went out and did Rhinestone Cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, highly recommend that documentary, The Wrecking Crew. All those people.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, amazing.